Do you like adventures? I love the morning when adventures begin and that feeling of anticipation to catch a glimpse of what is yet to be experienced. I'd like to take you on an adventure, exploring how your neighborhood, city, country, and even the world can be set ablaze with a spiritual wildfire of redemption through the grace and story of Jesus Christ. The adventure I want to take you on is uncomfortable for many believers, yet God desires every believer to join Him in this adventure. What is the adventure I want to take you on? It is the adventure of starting spiritual wildfires of evangelism. This is not your parents' or grandparents' version of evangelism. I believe evangelism has been hijacked, held hostage by well-meaning programs and scripted interactions which has handcuffed people to formulas. Rather than restricting people to present a set of linear truths and a set pattern, believers need to be equipped and released to engage others in natural ways created specifically for them by God Himself. The intrigue and adventure of evangelism has incorrectly been reduced to a specialty of faith that only a few are said to be gifted to engage successfully. In the past decades, several evangelists have risen up in stadiums, concert halls, and other meeting places, attracting people to hear sermons and invitations to believe. And there have been some good results from these efforts, and we should celebrate their success, but what if God intended evangelism to flow through every believer, not just a few with specialized abilities? What if sharing the good news was fun, natural, and enjoyable? Like sharing about a good restaurant you've been to or a good movie you've seen. I believe this is what God wants, but let's be honest, most people shy away from evangelism, and I like to see that changed. God has created you uniquely to share the gospel fearlessly, powerfully, naturally, and within your own personality. God wants you to be successful every time you engage someone with the story of God. God wants every believer to be successful from the minute they enter God's family. And God wants you to be 100% successful 100% of the time when you share any portion of the good news. Here are some of the topics we will cover in this series to equip you to be yourself and to see God spread His gospel message through you to start wildfires of faith throughout your lifetime. We will learn that God promises to give you the words to say to every person you talk to about the gospel. You can't go wrong when God gives you the words to repeat. We will learn that God customizes the conversation to fit who you are and what the person you are talking to needs to hear in that moment. We will learn that God invites you to draw closer to Him throughout your life, which emboldens you to share with others naturally. We will learn that God wants you to be focused on conversations, not conversions. It's His job to change hearts, not yours, and that brings relief. We will see that God tells us that when more seeds are sown in people naturally, that this equals more souls coming to Jesus. It is important to understand that God gives the church evangelists not to do evangelism for us, but to equip and encourage believers to be free in sharing Christ under His leadership. And we'll learn that God uses ordinary people in ordinary conversations to ignite a wildfire that will transform the landscape of our world. These short videos are coming your way to encourage you and remind you of just how involved God is in your life and desires you to be 100% successful 100% of the time. So let's get out there and ignite spiritual wildfires and watch the Creator draw people to Himself. It will be an adventure that will change the world.